information. We need to make sure everyone's clear on this. So no one can say that they don't know after history unpacks this one, which they all will. Just like that, the phrase out there will say, oh, well, like try to frame it as somehow being on one side or the other, like any number of people in the past where they always come out and act like it was somehow hard to tell or we listen to the right sources, always. Netanyahu has made it completely and unambiguously clear that even if Hamas surrendered today, I've said this 100 times over, more than Netanyahu, by the way, they all have, many of them, that even if they surrender today and released every single hostage, Trump's ethnic cleansing plan will still need to be implemented as a precondition for ending the mass slaughter. It's all very public, and yet we get the arguments from people that either, again, like she said, don't know or are lying about it. She says, to be absolutely 100% clear, Trump's plan for Gaza is that all Palestinians be removed on a permanent basis, never allowed to return. I mean, remember that big moment where the big talking point that was, release the hostages, end the war. That's never been true. From day one, they told you that, just like she's highlighting. What happens is that their homeland will be permanently taken away from them as they are shipped off.
Yeah, Hamas is a myth, guys. It's their beard to cover up what they're going to do anyway. There's no hostages, and if there are, they kill their own hostages. How is that even like a plan to, it's just the plan is to make the whole world hate Palestinians by this beard of Hamas. That's all.
Saying you made peace by removing the Palestinians from Palestine is like saying you settled an argument by decapitating one of the arguers. That's the only peace the people of Palestine will experience if Hamas lays down its arms, losing everything they've ever known forever on pain of death. That is the inconvenient truth people are trying to hide when they say this all ends when Hamas surrenders and releases the hostages. That is the deception they are sowing. Find the willingness, the courage, the discernment, right, to point out what this is, to highlight the reality, not based on what narrative one side or other is saying, but like we just showed you, what they're pointing to. This is what they said they were going to do. Here is the evidence of their settlements in the places they claim they don't want to occupy. It's all right there. We need to recognize that the Palestinian people are the focal point of all this, and they're using them left and right. But at the end of the day, as long as you're willing to stand up and call this out and fight for the people that deserve it, right, what's correct, the moral principle, like from your perspective, we can disagree on that. That's the reality, is you're never going to agree with everybody out there. But from your perspective out there listening, fight for what you believe in, your principles, your integrity, with clarity. Like, don't be bound by some kind of an argument that someone else tells you aligns with what you think you want. You know what you want. You know what feels right. And I believe that
we need to find the courage to keep calling this exactly what it is. It's a genocide, and we need to have the courage to keep saying it. We need to keep repeating it. Their tactics is to completely repeat the lie over and over again. Our mission as human beings and followers of Christ is to call out this evil and stand up to it and have courage to do so.
The hospital has been destroyed. The whole infrastructure of the hospital has been destroyed. When I spoke to Marwan yesterday, he told me there were 107 patients still in the hospital, 60 medical staff. God only knows what has happened to them. I think we've seen some of the pictures. Surgeons I know have been executed in the last 48 hours there. Bodies have been discovered in the last 12 to 24 hours who have been handcuffed with their arms behind their back. And so there is no doubt at all that multiple healthcare workers have been executed there in the last few days.
You believe executed by whom, Doctor?
By the Israeli Defense Force.
Why would they seek to execute surgeons and medical professionals?
Well, they've been doing it since October the 7th. Over 450 healthcare workers have been killed. Friends of mine that I have worked with over the years, many have been abducted as well, and nothing has been heard of them since. So there is no doubt in my mind, and I can bear witness from this from my time at Al-Aqsa Hospital and from talking to people, that there's been direct targeting of the healthcare system in Gaza, direct targeting of hospitals, and multiple killings of healthcare workers.
Any death is tragic, but this is not, and I say again, anyone dying in any sense. So this is not, and please don't be upset by this expression, collateral damage. This is specifically targeted, you're saying, medical professionals by the IDF to be taken off and executed, is your belief?
Most certainly, that is my belief.
Have you at any time seen anything that would lead you to believe that there had been terrorists who were hiding in the hospital?
Without exception, every single one has responded to say they have never witnessed any Hamas militants in the hospitals they have worked in.
When were you in Gaza?
End of April for the first couple weeks. And then there's sniper bullets. I had children that were shot twice.
Wait, you're saying that children in Gaza are being shot by snipers?
Definitively. I have 2 children that I have photographs of that were shot so perfectly in the chest I couldn't put my stethoscope over their heart more accurately, and directly on the side of the head in the same child. No toddler gets shot twice by mistake by the world's best sniper. And they're dead center shots.
In fact, more than 20 doctors recently in Gaza also told Sunday Morning about gunshot wounds to children. One American doctor told us he even reviewed CT scans to confirm what he saw because he, quote, didn't believe that this many children could be admitted to a single hospital with gunshot wounds to the head.